What up gamers, I'm Sir Mav, and today I'm going to showcase two solid builds for the Titan class that can provide you with almost infinite grenades in any PvE activity. I actually worked on this build in the previous season, but unfortunately never got around to completing it and finding the right exotics for these builds to work properly. But after again messing around with one of the mods from the Season of Dawn, I finally got these builds to a state where they are extremely viable. Now it's important to note before we begin that I created these two builds for the purpose of utilizing either the Void subclass or the Solar subclass. The Arc version worked okay, but it relied too heavily on your shoulder charge ability, whereas the Void or Solar versions worked without having to use one sole ability for the purpose of retaining our grenade. Because of this, the Solar and Void versions work the best with the setups I'm about to present to you. So first up, let's get into the Solar version of this Grenadier build. With this Titan build, we're going to be utilizing the bottom tree of the Solar class known as the Code of the Siegebreaker with fusion grenades. And unfortunately, this is the only grenade you'll be able to utilize due to the exotic gauntlets that synchronize well with this build. But the key reason we're using the bottom tree is because of its ability to create sunspots from grenade and melee ability kills. Not only will you replenish health after killing an enemy with one of your abilities, but when you pass through a sunspot, you acquire increased damage plus your grenade and melee abilities will recharge faster. And this is of course in the case that you don't already instantaneously recharge your grenade on a kill. So along with these perks, they are enhanced by combining this class with the Ashen Wake exotic gauntlets that allow fusion grenades to explode on impact and grant you increased throw speed. What it doesn't tell you though is that this exotic also ups the fusion grenade's damage by 50%, making it a powerful impact fireball, which helps when you also gain additional grenade energy from killing enemies with that said fusion grenade. Now just with these combinations alone, this is already a great increase into not only your damage, but provides you with more grenades at your disposal. But yes, it can still get better. When you add in a 3-stack of the Firepower mod from the Season of Dawn, you allow this build to instantaneously grant your Titan a fusion grenade after every single throw. But this still does require a routine of sorts to get it instantly every time. So the way this Firepower mod works is that for every throw of your grenade while charged with light, you regain a portion of your grenade energy back. And it is definitely a small portion, which is why I have this mod stacked 3 times within this build. Also, because you need to be charged with light, I utilize the Taking Charge mod as well so I can become charged with light by just picking up orbs of light from my weapon kills. Since this can be stacked up to ×2, it's not hard to consistently maintain your grenade energy while running and gunning across enemies. And if all that wasn't already enough, I also included the Enhanced Bomber mod to my mark, which allows for this build to gain even more grenade energy when using any other class ability. I added this mod in as it just allows you to build up more grenade energy when you weren't charged with light while throwing a grenade, making it to where you're always building up that grenade energy by just simply using your abilities and engaging with the enemy. The crazy thing is that what I'm showcasing within these builds in this video is not even its full potential, as not all my gear is masterworked and I'm not fully spec'd out with full discipline. So with that, here's how the build breaks down within the stats. As I stated, with the Ashen Wake exotics, we increase the grenade damage by 50%. Because these exotics also grant grenade energy on kill, you reduce the grenade regen time by 24% with 1 kill, 49% with 2, and 73% with 3 kills. Meaning that with just the exotics themselves, you can almost instantly regen your grenade by taking out 4 enemies with 1 grenade when a tier level 8 of discipline. And to showcase how the Firepower mod works, you can see on the table that for each mod, you're basically reducing grenade regen time by 15% per stack by just using grenade while charged with light. So with all of this combined, you will instantly have your grenade ability back when taking out 3 enemies at once, and knock your regen timer down to 2 seconds by just taking out 2 enemies with 1 grenade. So definitely a fun and viable build when utilizing it in any PvE activity, especially when trying to maintain crowd control and when you have a bunch of solar shields in the mix. The Void build works very similar to the Solar one in the aspect of regen times, but you don't do as much damage with your grenade and you can't instantly regen health like you can with a Solar build. But with the Void build, we'll be using the bottom tree as well, known as the Code of the Aggressor. And this is because of the one important perk, Superior Arsenal, which grants grenade energy upon any grenade kills. Also, a pro to this build is that it doesn't matter which grenade you choose, although I tend to utilize the Void Wall grenade as it always seemed easier in its ability to get multiple kills as enemies walk through it, which is important when these builds utilize kills to grant additional grenade energy. So this Grenadier build works the same as the first in that you'll be stacking 3 mods of Firepower from the Season of Dawn. You'll be once again utilizing Taking Charge and the Enhanced Bomber or Bomber mod in your mark, but the only thing that will change is the exotic. In this build, we'll be using the Heart of the Endmost Light chest armor, which grants the exotic perk Overflowing Light. This perk essentially provides an empowered perk to 2 abilities when one is used. For instance, if I was to use my barricade ability on my Titan, I would trigger empowerment for both my grenade ability and melee ability. This means that these abilities will now regen faster for the next 9 seconds they are empowered, but they will also deal more damage during that time frame. This works the same with the barricade in that if I used my melee ability, then my grenade would once again do increased damage when used, but the barricade would be more powerful and take increased damage. But like I said, this is essentially the same build as the solar one, except that your grenade doesn't get as much as a buff as the fusion grenade does with the Ashen Wake gauntlets. As you can see in the table, grenade energy is only increased by 23% when empowered is active. The regen times are pretty much the same as the previous build, but in the Void build you're always guaranteed your grenade back as long as you're charged with light and get at least 2 kills with your grenade. And for the ease of setting these builds up yourself, here's all the mods needed for both of these builds laid out for you. So if you're in need of a good grenade build for your Titan, give these 2 a try and let me know how they worked out for you. But that concludes the build discussion for today. It's time to start prepping, Guardians. The Almighty is about to break the atmosphere, Black Doritos are making their way into the middle of our solar system, and I've got more weapons and builds to test as this season comes to an end. What do you hope to see in the next season, and do you think we'll get a new enemy come the next expansion? Time will tell, of course, but as usual, if you enjoyed the content, drop this video a like and tap our subscribe for more on Destiny 2. Until next time, gamers, this is Sir Mav, signing off.